Hi guys, welcome to Origin. About 2 years ago I made a video called Aesthetics of Music, which ranks among one of the top 5 videos I'm most proud of. This is a response to a comment on that video. The comment was posted by the David2222 and it goes like this. Just because aesthetic value can't be assigned mathematically doesn't mean that value can't be assigned some other way. Everyone's opinion of music is not equal. David Hume, Immanuel Kant, and Friedrich Nietzsche all agree on that point. Everyone's opinion isn't equal for the same reason that Plato didn't support democracy. The reason is ignorance. Many people do not have a refined enough taste to appreciate real genius. Let me first state my opinion. I don't believe that there's such a thing as objectively good or bad music, or objectively good or bad musicians. Now what I mean by objectively good is that if there was such a thing as an objectively good piece of music, and I were to argue that it was bad, then I would be wrong. Now to me, this concept doesn't make logical sense. You can't be right or wrong in thinking that a piece of music is good or bad. Some people like it, some people don't, but that's to do with people's preferences. Now having said that, when he says everyone's opinion of music is not equal, I agree 100%. To make my point, I studied maths and music at university. I've now finished that, so I know quite a lot about music and I have perfect pitch, which means I can identify the exact notes which are being played in a piece of music. I know what key it's in, what notes are being played in the melody. Chords are a bit more difficult because it's a few notes being played at the same time, but if it's a simple enough chord, I can identify what type it is. The exact structure of the chord is a bit more difficult because let's say you've got two different C major chords. They're both C major chords. One's C, E, G, the other's C, G, C, E, G, C. They're both C major, but you know, it's different notes being played. I'm not very good when it comes to recognizing the exact structure of a chord like that. I can simply tell you what chord it is being played. But if you compare that to someone who knows absolutely nothing about music, they don't know what the notes are called, they don't know what the chords are called, they just hear sounds. You know, they might be able to identify some of the instruments, but they couldn't tell you what the actual individual notes being played are or what chords are being played. If we then listen to the same piece of music, I would be able to tell you more about it than the other person. As a keyboard player, if I listen to a piece of maybe piano music, I could tell you roughly how difficult it is to play. The other person wouldn't know. And if it's difficult to play, that might give me some level of respect for anyone who might be able to perform it. If a piece of music uses many different chords in many different positions and connects them really well, I would then have some appreciation for the composer's ability. But to the music illiterate, it won't make much difference. And I'm working on the theory that if you have two people, one who's listened to quite a lot of a particular style of music and the other who's might be new to that style of music, because the first person's listened to quite a lot of music of that particular style, then as the second person listens to more and more music from that same style, their tastes, I'm guessing, will converge on the tastes of the first person. And music seems to affect us all in the same way, so as you get a clearer picture of all of the music that's been written for that style and how each song fits in that context, you'll converge on the same taste as someone who has an intricate knowledge of that style. What I object to most in this comment is the idea of genius. More specifically, the idea of appreciating real genius. Now, if you come to see a pattern in the music that's being made at a specific time period, and you see one composer or songwriter that writes music that completely deviates from this pattern, you would call this composer or songwriter original. And you can legitimately make the argument that being able to construct this new original sound takes a certain degree of genius. And you needn't just apply this to originality, you can apply it to complexity, instrument use, even, how well respected the music is over time, and how many people like it after listening to it. Because the reason why you'd have two different pieces of music where in the first case, everyone who listens to it likes it, and in the second case, only some like it, but quite a few hate it. There must be something in the music creating that effect. But once you've realised all this, you get the same situation that you get in, well, the scenario I described in my Rotten Tomatoes Sucks videos. What if you're fully aware of all of this, but you still can't appreciate the music? What ignorance is there left to explain this? In the end, it still comes down to you either like it or you don't. Now, all over YouTube, whether it's in the context of music or films or other forms of art, people are still bringing this up. And, you know, I asked last time, is there anyone who objects to what I've said? And no one seemed to. Like, everyone agreed with me. So, if you're out there, if you do buy this argument, if you have the same opinion as the David2222, please say something. Make your argument. What am I missing? Am I missing something? Thank you for watching. Goodbye.